Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. I am so excited right now because I'm going to be sharing with you guys how the 4-year cycle theory works. We're also going to be taking a look at Bitcoin analysis and Ethereum analysis because these are the two biggest drivers of value inside of this market. I honestly want to talk to you guys about this for a while and I have briefly explained it, but today I'm going to be giving you guys an in-depth analysis on how 4-year cycle theory works and how it's perfectly correlated to all of the cryptocurrency markets that we see today. Bitcoin today is showing a lot of strength and it looks like more upside is upon us over the next couple days. I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of my analysis over this 4-year cycle theory and the Bitcoin and Ethereum cycles, so make sure that you guys stay all the way to the end because I promise that this video is one I've been saving for a while and it's going to be packed full of awesome information that's going to really help a lot of you new guys as well as anybody that's just been in this market for a long time. This 4-year cycle theory is how I've based my technical analysis and investing strategy upon, and so I think that this is really going to help a lot of you guys to fine-tune your strategy and have clear sight as to what's coming down ahead. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure that you guys click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. Also guys, always remember to come and join the Discord server. It's free for anybody that wants to. We're so close to 8,000 members. This thing is growing so fast. I just want to have as many people in here learning, communicating, and profiting alongside with me and the rest of the members inside of the community. All you guys got to do to join is click in the description of this video and there you're going to find the invitation link to my channel. Click on that and you'll automatically be directed in here. Now on my Discord server, I also offer my more exclusive content like the video course and signals. The video course is 20 educational videos that teach you guys all of my strategies, all of my trading plans, and all of the technical skills required on how to actually be profitable inside of this market. Now the signals are a way for you guys to just copy my long-term portfolio. You'll know exactly what I'm holding, what I've allocated to each investment, and you're also going to be able to copy all of the short-term swing trades that I take along with margin trade opportunities. So make sure that you guys join the Discord. Click that invitation link, shoot me a message, and I'll get back to you with all of the information needed on how to sign up. And with all that being said, guys, thank you all so much for the support. We're about to hit 30K subscribers, which is just mind-blowing. I absolutely love each and every one of you, and I'm so thankful for the kind words of support each and every one of you continuously gives me. So, with all that being said, guys, we got a lot of amazing charts to cover today, so let's jump right in the video. Alrighty guys, we're going to start off by taking a look at some Bitcoin analysis real quick because Bitcoin is actually breaking up right now. Now if we go into a shorter time frame, this is following my trading plan pretty nicely. Basically what I had drawn here and what I was showing you guys in the last video that we had was I showed this as being a symmetrical triangle. And oftentimes we get these symmetrical triangles and really that's what Bitcoin is technically building in. Since $20,000 we've been contracting in one of these same patterns. And we're actually starting to see Bitcoin showing strength right now. Because when I first started making this video, when I first woke up and was looking at charts, it looked like we could have easily got rejected right here, but we are actually getting some more continuation. So that's a very bullish sign. I think that as long as we continue to go up from here, it's likely that we're going to come up and actually retest the top of the resistance again, because this is just a simple ABCDE correction. A, B, C, and we're coming up for the D wave. And it's likely that we're going to break out on the D wave, but it is also possible that we could reject and then fall for one more low, and that would complete the E. But nonetheless, we're going to watch and see. Most of the time they break out on this D wave, and if it shows a lot of strength, then it will break out on the D wave. But we're just going to have to watch and really kind of see what the market's going to give us. But nonetheless, my trading plan is still the same. To me, because we already came up and hit this major resistance that we've been seeing here, you guys already know, a lot of people have been labeling this major resistance. We've rejected off it once, twice, 3, 4 times, and we're just coiling right below it, which to me signals that we're about to see a big breakout coming very soon. Now, kind of what I've been updating you guys with was that I thought when we do get this breakout, we were going to head upwards of about 12K to 14K. So about right there and all the way up to 14K, right up there, or at least like the cycle high. So that's the real areas that I've been watching for recently, and that's still what I'm going to continue to watch for. I think that if we get a breakout, Bitcoin's either going to go to 12K, we might see a pullback, and then drop back down, or or we might hit 12K, short-term pullback, and then head up to 14K. It's hard to say exactly, but nonetheless, guys, I've kind of labeled this entire move as very similar to this one that we saw right here. And in my opinion, right here is the exact same as right here. Obviously, the consolidation is a little different. This one's more of a triangle. This one kind of looked like a head and shoulders type structure. But nonetheless, all that I'm sharing with you guys is the fact that what came after the breakout was the most euphoric rise out of this entire trend. Because this entire thing was more or less just rounding, and then it started building steam, and then this point was the parabolic blow off top. And that's what I'm going to be expecting to see right here. I think that even though we didn't get the same round, this was a short squeeze. This was capitulation, and that's why we were immediately rebounded. Because we're so close, this is a V bottom, guys. A literal V bottom. And with this being so close to the apex of the resistance up here at 10,500, when this thing breaks, I'm expecting a very euphoric rise once again to play out. And in turn, it's going to be very profitable. This is why I told everybody not to panic sell when we had this COVID panic. I said that this was a liquidity crisis and it wasn't going to last. And the people that sold were going to deeply regret it. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. I know a lot of people were expecting to see downside. I was preparing for downside, but the thing is, guys, it doesn't look like we're getting it. It looks like we are holding support, and we're looking very strong right now. It is possible that we could reject and continue to fall lower, but the way my trading plan was I was watching for the support to hold of this triangle. Because it's holding and showing strength, I'm going to continue to stick to this trading plan, and we're going to see what follows. Obviously, there could always be a bearish scenario. Obviously, we could get rejected right here, and then we could actually fall through this triangle. And if that was the case, if we fall through this triangle, I'm going to be looking for short opportunities back down to about $7,400. So that's my trading plan for Bitcoin. I hope that makes a lot of sense to you guys. Now let's actually dive into the best part of this video, because this is where it gets really exciting. So here we are, guys, taking a look at the Brave New Liquid Index for Bitcoin. This is a 4-year cycle, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys how it works. So let's go all the way back here, and I'm going to share with you guys how a 4-year cycle actually works. So a 4-year cycle, the way that you measure these is from peak low to peak low. So this was the peak low inside of Bitcoin back at 2015, around 180 to 150, $200 range, somewhere right around there. And this was the peak low. So the way that you calculate this is once the new bull trend is started and we're not breaking past those primary lows, you can calculate the 4-year cycle, because the way your 4-year cycle works is you go from the peak low to the peak low, and that should equate to 4 years, or pretty close to 4 years. Now we can see that this actually happened. We had the first 4-year cycle in Bitcoin's market structure just with this last cycle that we had. So in 2015 to 2019 completed our first 4-year cycle. Now a lot of you guys might be wondering, well, why isn't a 4-year cycle from high to high or from low to high? And that's because it just doesn't equate to a 4-year cycle. Obviously, the trading plan can vary. It's not like you have to sell at the bottom of the 4-year cycle, because you want to be taking profits up here. If you would have bought here and sold here, you still would have made good profits, but it would have been way more profitable to actually exit at the top. And so we're going to be talking about the 4-year cycle. We're going to be talking about how it actually shows what's going to happen in the future. And we're going to be talking about how I've actually created my trading plan for scaling out. Now, if we have time, I'm actually going to jump into some Ethereum analysis as well, because I think both of these are very correlated, and we're going to see roughly the same thing start to play out in both of them. Now, let's go through here and talk about this. So this started the 4-year cycle. Obviously, we're not going to go look at any of this prior history because, in my opinion, we didn't have enough liquidity to really complete a 4-year cycle until 2015. That was the first time we had billions of dollars in market cap, because up to this point, Bitcoin was basically a low cap altcoin. And so let's go through here real quick. So the way a 4-year cycle works, you go from cycle low, and then you measure 4 years in advance. And that theoretically should be the bottom of the next cycle. So 2015... I've gone through and actually labeled the new year. It's not the exact bottom right here, but it is the new year, which is close enough. And so it's easier for you guys to follow along. Just understand that it's going to be a couple days, maybe a week or so off, but it's close enough that it doesn't matter. So here we are taking a look at this. So 4 years in advance, 4 years of 2015 would take us to 2019, which theoretically should have been the cycle low. So let's go to 2019, and we can see that the new year of 2019, we can see was almost 100% the exact low. So this is why I've been so adamant about the 4-year cycle theory, is because Bitcoin has perfectly followed this trend. And I don't think that we're going to stop right now. Obviously, there's the argument for elongating cycles, and I do disagree with that. I understand everybody and where they get their data from. I understand that every cycle has gotten longer up to this point. But at the same time, I think the only reason these 2 cycles weren't as long was because we just didn't have the same liquidity as we do now. And so this is what takes us to today. Now, 4 years as far as days go, you can actually pull up this little tool here. It's called the date range, or the date and price range. But you can pull it up here and you can actually analyze it for yourself. It's 1,450 days. Well, it's 1,460 days in this one, but 1,450 days is 4 years. And that's exactly what we saw here. From cycle low to cycle low was a little over 4 years time. Now this is what actually takes me to the next point. This next point here. This red line shows the cycle high. Now, for whatever reason, the cycle high happens at the new year too. And the new years are a very valid point for reversals inside of this market. Now, the way that a 4-year cycle works is you have from low to low should equal 4 years. So the way that you measure the peak all-time high should be 3 years in advance from the low. So in this case, 2015 was the low. 3 years in advance takes us to 2018, which was almost the exact cycle high. And then we go for a 1-year bear market. The bear markets, for whatever reason, last about a year's time, and then that is the completion of the 4-year cycle. So basically what we have the start of the 4-year cycle here. 3 years in advance takes us to the cycle high. So 3 years from 2015 takes us to 2018. We can see that if you check the dates down here, it was pretty exact. And then we start the bear market decline. So this is the bear market correction, which lasts a year. So 2018 to 2019. 1 year in difference is the top and the bottom, almost exactly. There is a little bit of a difference. There is a couple weeks period of time that doesn't line up, but nonetheless, if you would have known this 4-year cycle theory, you would have been able to almost perfectly exit at the best time possible. You would have basically bought the bottom, you would have basically sold the top, and then you would have basically been able to buy the bottom again. And that's why I've been so adamant about this, guys, is because I get that the lengthening cycles theory is something that has data to go off of, but there's not enough data, or I should say, it's not as exact as the 4-year cycle data. I know that we can see lengthening times in the cycles, but nonetheless, because we follow this 4-year cycle theory so perfectly, that's why I'm sticking to it. Now, this is actually what takes us to the new cycle. And I've actually gone through and labeled a rough estimate of kind of what I would expect to see play out inside of this cycle, which would be here. So with us completing the start of the first 4-year cycle, so we finished the first 4-year cycle in 2019. This was the bottom of the bear market. Now, because we finished the 4-year cycle, we also started a brand new 4-year cycle in its place. And that happened at the same time. So the very cycle low was the start and the end of the 4-year cycle and the beginning of the new 4-year cycle, if that makes sense. That was kind of confusing. So let me rephrase. The bottom in 2019, when Bitcoin was at $3,200, was not only the completion of the first 4-year cycle, but it was also the beginning of the second 4-year cycle. So let's go through here now. We've obviously been accumulating, we've made a higher high, and in my opinion, we've already started the next bullish move. We've already completed our first impulse. Now, for me, I'm expecting that we're going to follow roughly the same sort of frame. So with that being said, the bull market should last 3 years. So 2019 was the start of the 4-year cycle. So 3 years from that point would be 2022, which is close enough right here. 2022 would be about right there. So 2022 should theoretically be the cycle high, which is why I've actually been telling you guys that I plan to take profits at the end of 2021. The very end of 2021 was when I planned to have fully scaled out of my long-term bags for cryptocurrency, and I was going to be awaiting the next 1-year bear market to decline. And that's kind of the way I'm going to be structuring my trading plan. So if we can see here, 1,400 days takes us to the bottom of the next cycle, which projects to be New Year of 2023, which means if the bear markets are 1 year in length and the 4-year cycle completes its end in 4 years from 2019, that takes us to 2023. Now, with that being said, if the bear markets are a year, then a year behind 2023 is the start of 2022, which is why I want to be completely exited out of all of my long-term bags in 2021, the very end of 2021, heading into 2022. And this is the way the 4-year cycle theory works, guys. And who knows? Maybe we see an elongated bear market. Maybe we don't continue to follow this pattern afterwards. But I'm very confident that we're going to follow it for this cycle at least, because the altcoins and Bitcoin are still correlated in this exact same trend, and I just don't see it ending anytime soon. I do get the argument for the elongating cycles, but the thing is, guys, there is more accuracy when trading this specific theory with the 4-year cycle theory than there is the elongating cycles. Because here's the thing, guys. With the elongating cycles, it's basically impossible to even have an idea of how long it'll get. I hear a lot of people, I really do actually like one of these guys named Benjamin Cohen. He's a really big cycle type investor, and he does a lot of mathematic equations for his analysis. It's very foreign TA from anything that I've seen. But he's somebody that I've watched a lot. I really do care about his perspective. And he is actually a subscriber to this elongating cycle theory. And I just have to disagree, because here's the thing. I watch some of his videos and I oftentimes see him say, well, we could end in 2023, 2024, or we could go longer than that. And it's just like, well, okay, that's pretty vague, and it doesn't really sound like you have a trading plan. I, for one, stick to a trading plan, even if I'm wrong. Even if we do have an elongated cycle, I'm going to still hold some long-term bags so I don't miss out on that ride. But nonetheless, for me, I can fully exit based off of this trading plan, and I can fully, be exit out of the market, and I can be waiting to rebuy dips with this trading plan, compared to if I stick to the elongating cycle theory. At that point, I have no idea how long it's going to go, which makes it harder for me to have a trading plan, which makes it harder for me to actually exit out of my positions. And so I personally am going to stick to this plan because I think it's vastly more accurate. And so I hope this makes a lot of sense to you guys, because I know I haven't really fully explained it yet, but this video is going to do all of that. So hope this makes sense. Make sure you guys actually check out and research into the 4-year cycle theory, because it's really, really cool. And I think that with Bitcoin being such an undervalued asset, it's going to continue to follow this trend. Now, this is actually what takes me to the next part of the video, which is this Ethereum chart. This is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about Ethereum, because we're actually seeing 100% the same correlations as 2015 Bitcoin. And this makes a lot of sense, guys, because really Ethereum is following Bitcoin. And it's really been a huge performer inside of this market. It's brought a lot of new value inside of the space. And for that, I don't see that changing anytime soon. And in fact, I think this run is really just getting started. Now, what we have here, this black chart at the top, was the 2015 Bitcoin bottom. And what we have down here is the current consolidation in Ethereum today. Now, let's go through here and analyze some things, because these are 100% almost the exact same chart. The only real difference is the Ethereum accumulation was about twice as long, and it was a little bit more volatile. So here we are. With Bitcoin, this was where we capitulated about 150 bucks, and then we started this sideways accumulation. After 150 bucks, we kind of started this slow trend up backwards to resistance, and then we got rejected. And this is the same thing that happened here inside of Ethereum. Capitulation happened, we start the slow grind back up to resistance. Eventually, we get the blow off top, we reject. This is our first lower high, and then we start to fall again. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because they're almost identical, guys. Not only is it identical on the build up phase, but it's identical on the way back down for the most part. What happens is we kind of stop in between the midway point of the bottom and the cycle high. And this is what happened with Bitcoin. We're just kind of in the bottom and the in-between phase between the support and the resistance, which is right here. We can see the same thing happens inside of Ethereum. We start to fall, we rally up, and then we reject. We find our primary lows of this middle point. Same thing happens here. And then we make another attempt at the resistance up here. Bitcoin rallies, hits this resistance, rejects, makes a lower high, rejects here, sells through this trend line, and then we hit to go all the way back down to retest the primary lows of capitulation before we round out, and then we break up. And this is where Bitcoin went from 150 bucks to 400 in that first little impulse before we started that new bull trend. And today in Ethereum, we're doing the same thing. The only real difference is Bitcoin kind of rounded out, and Ethereum's just V-bottoming and going straight up because it's a little bit more volatile. But nonetheless, both of these cycles retested the primary lows of capitulation. Ethereum didn't go quite all the way to the bottom, but it was close enough. And so, guys, this is why I'm so bullish on Ethereum, is because it's showing the exact same market structure as early day Bitcoin. I think that this is setting up for a huge opportunity across the boards. The 4-year cycle theory is still very young. I've been basing my entire analysis and trading plan around this. This is why I've trusted investing into the bear market, dollar cost averaging into positions. And at this point, literally the only position that I'm not in profit in is XRP, which is funny because I'm such a big XRP supporter. But XRP is the only long-term position that I'm not in profit in right now. Tezos, Chainlink, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of those are in profit except for XRP. And so because I've just stuck to this trading plan, I've managed to create a plan and I've been able to profit throughout this entire fear correcting sequence that we've been inside of. And now we're getting ready to reap the rewards as we go into this new parabolic trend. And so this is the video I had for you guys. Really, before we touch up on, I just want to touch up on some final thoughts. This is the altcoin market cap. Right now it's looking very, very strong. I can say that without a doubt in my mind. We're right at resistance as we speak, and it looks like we want to start making an attempt to break out of that. I think we will. We can see that this big wick right here is a very bullish looking setup right now, because this shows that sellers pushed the price all the way down here and then the buyers brought it all the way up, and we actually closed in a green candle. I think that we're going to see a breakout coming pretty soon. We're going to go to at least right here, but in my opinion, I think it is very possible that we could start seeing another attempt at hitting upwards of these resistances here, which would be 115 billion, I think, in market cap. And so this is what I'm going to be watching out for with this market structure. I think that we'll hit this. It's more likely, though, that we'll come up back up to about 115 billion before we see a pullback. But this is where things get interesting, guys, because, I can lay out these support and resistance levels for you, but the thing is, whenever these altcoins decide to actually pump, they're going to do it, and they're going to, no technical analysis is ever going to be able to, show exactly what's going to happen. You might have an idea, but nonetheless, when the market actually decides to make its move, it's going to make its move. And with altcoins, we could see a major breakout happen. We could even clear the cycle resistance, which would be about right here. It is very possible that we could see a move like that coming very soon. Guys, we've accumulated sideways for literally over 500 years, or 500 days we've accumulated here. I wish 500 years, I'd buy the crap out of that dip. So 530 days we've just gone sideways from low to where we're at today. That is a significant period of time for an altcoin, well, any altcoin, this is the total altcoin market cap, to be accumulating sideways. When we do see the expansion, it is going to be very, very big. And in my opinion, it'll take us all the way back up to these resistances up here. And we could even go higher than that. Maybe we go all the way up to there, which would be 300 and 360 bill. That is a big impulse, guys. And if you're not sitting here investing into these cheap markets and you're sitting there too scared just waiting for more downside, even though we haven't in 500 days, you're going to miss out on the entire profit train, and you're going to really beat yourself up, because what's going to happen is if you miss out here, you're going to buy the top here. And then when it crashes, you're probably going to panic sell and quit crypto forever. Just don't make those mistakes. I've made those mistakes in the past. I am not perfect. I am very transparent with everything that I do on this channel, because at the end of the day, I just want to see you guys profit. A lot of people, a lot of trolls inside the comments will say, oh, will you just repeat the same videos over and over? And yeah, and if you would have followed my videos since the time I've had this channel, literally all of those altcoins for the most part are in profit. All of my long-term bags are in profit. And so that's the thing. They can be angry, they can project all of their negativity, but at the end of the day, the people that are here supporting me are going to be the ones that are listening to this video. They're going to be the ones that are actually making the money, and those are the people that I only care about. All the trolls, all the people that want to say negative things about me, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I find my satisfaction in seeing everybody, even the trolls, profit. That's what makes me happy, so I make this channel. I don't care about what anybody has to say about me, my trading plan, what I'm investing in. None of it matters, and none of it should matter to you guys either. If somebody does that to your own trading plan, somebody nitpicks you, friends, family, acquaintances, whatever it might be, just understand that the people that are investing right now are setting themselves up for a massive financial opportunity, life-changing amounts of wealth that I've already been able to experience firsthand, and that's why I want to be able to give back that knowledge in a way that you guys can even obtain the same thing. So always remember, stick to your plan. Remember how early we still are in this market cycle. The next impulse is going to happen quick. It's going to be big, it's going to be explosive, and people are going to be left behind, which is why now is the time to be investing. now is the time to be sticking to your trading plan and following it all the way through to fruition. But anyways, guys, with all that being said, this is the video I had for you. I wanted to say that if you guys like this analysis, always remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. Also wanted to say that if you guys would like access to the video course and signals, both are paid memberships that I offer inside of my Discord server. So if you guys like all of the charts that I do, if you want to learn how to actually do all of this stuff that I do, the video course is an excellent resource. Now, with that being said, you know, the signals themselves are an excellent way for you guys to actually copy all of my long-term portfolio. You know, if you guys follow my long-term portfolio, it's probably going to help you guys out a lot for the most part, because it really does make a big difference when you can get in a Discord, you can ask me direct questions about your portfolio, and then I can help you in a way that's going to, you know, make sense to you, that you're going to be able to manage your own accounts, you're going to be able to do all of the own things, but you're going to be able to follow what I'm doing with my trading plan, you know, along the way. So it's a really good way to profit. It's a really good way to copy any margin trades, any swing trades, and any long-term positions that I take as well. So you guys will have access to that. You can shoot me any types of messages you want. So make sure that you guys join in the Discord server. Click that invitation link. Once you guys have access, just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And with all that being said, I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.